aircon filters, diesel pumps, steering pumps, turbochargers, engine overhaul gaskets, suspension parts, and body parts. If they don't have parts you're looking for, they can order within 5 to 10 working days. To top it up, Shuma Auto Parts also supply Maxxis tires and CST tires.
Really? But where are they found?
They are found on Chandram Sonda Road, Cruiser Auto Workshop in Lusaka. Call on 0979 192057 and 0960747235. Email shumaautoparts@gmail.com. Shuma Auto Parts for all your genuine vehicle parts.
The Happy World of 5FM Radio, your adult contemporary radio station in Zambia, connecting you to the newsmakers and events that make news in the global village.
Good evening. This is the 5FM main news. The headlines. Zambia and DRC to hold the talks after closure of border. Government observes the need for Zambia's education system to put up policies that will cater for pupils with special needs. Tanzania opposition figure Tundu Lissu arrested in crackdown. This news bulletin is also streaming live on the 5FM Facebook page and YouTube channel, 5FM Radio Zambia. With the details, I'm Herbert Mutavi. Commerce, Trade and Industry Minister Chipoka Mulenga says a delegation of officials will today hold a meeting with the DRC government following the temporary closure of the borders by the Zambian government. Briefing at Kasumbalesa border today, Mr. Mulenga says that the closure of the three borders has nothing to do with Zambia's political standing with the DRC. He says the development is aimed at protecting the country's property and human life owing to the protests taking place in the DRC. Mr. Mulenga states that government is committed to fostering good relations with DRC.
Our commitment, brotherhood, trade, and other things still remain. It was just a more concern that we raised given the demonstrations and riots that happened, which everybody saw. There is no business that is good or trade that is good if it is done at the expense or cost of anyone's life. What we decided to do was in the best interest of ourselves and our brothers. So yesterday, after the closure, I was reached out to by the Minister of Trade, my counterpart, to see how we can amicably, within the quickest possible time, resolve this challenge that we have concerning the safety of our people so that the borders are opened.
And Copperbelt Minister Elisha Matambo added that the situation on the Copperbelt, particularly in Kasumbalesa, is calm, hence there's no need to panic. Meanwhile, the Zambia Association of Manufacturers, ZAMA President Ashu Saga, says that the ban presents significant challenges not only to regional trade, but also to Zambia's manufacturing sector and broader economic stability. Mr. Saga says that the DRC has long been a vital trading partner for Zambia, and the sudden stopping of imports will disrupt established supply chains, leading to potential revenue losses, the underutilization of production capacity, and the potential closure of operations that were heavily dependent on the DRC market. He states that this disruption poses a severe threat to jobs and livelihoods in the Zambian manufacturing sector, with ripple effects felt throughout the economy. Mr. Saga says adding to the complexity of the situation is the deteriorating security situation at the Zambia-DRC border, which has already had a negative impact on trade. Increased insecurity not only disrupts the flow of goods, but also endangers the lives of those involved in cross-border trade. Government says that there is need for Zambia's education system to put up policies that will cater for the pupils with special needs. Speaking at the 2024 Joint Sectoral Annual Review, Ministry of Education Permanent Secretary in charge of administration, Noriana Munenko, says it is vital to acknowledge the profound impact that a digital transformation can have on making education more inclusive and effective for all learners, particularly those with special needs. Mrs. Munenko explains that digital transformation in education is not just about adopting new technologies, but it is about fundamentally rethinking how education is delivered and experienced, as it involves integrating digital tools and strategies that can break down barriers to learning, enhancing engagement, and tailor education experiences to individual needs.
Digital transformation in education is not just about adopting new technology. It is about fundamentally rethinking how education is delivered and experienced. It involves integrating digital tools and strategies that can break down barriers to learning, to enhance engagement, and to tailor educational experiences to individual needs. For learners with special education needs, and by the way, they are very dear to my heart.
Speaking at the same event, United Nations Children's Fund UNICEF education specialist Zwelanji Sepo says UNICEF is committed to partner with the ministry to ensure access to quality education for all children.
The country has therefore made progress towards achieving the recommended benchmark of 20% of the total national budget. As cooperating partners, we are committed to partnering with the Ministry of Education to ensure access to a quality education for all children. As part of our support to the curriculum implementation in Zambia, we plan to support the following to ensure that these reforms are meaningful and reach all children. Supporting the decentralization of the education system, including supporting local governments in planning, budgeting, and implementing education sector priorities. Supporting Ministry of Education in leveraging innovative financing mechanisms to finance education priorities and harnessing and aligning current resources for maximum benefit.
About 7,899 were trained under the Youth Skills Training Initiative of the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Arts from the 23 skills centers dotted across the country and other institutions. Speaking at a media briefing to mark the International Youth Day, Youth, Sport and Arts Minister Elvis Nkandu disclosed that this represents an increase from last year's 7,089 and has resulted in drastic reduction of unemployment levels. Mr. Nkandu has also appealed to cooperating partners to support the government in the procurement of skills assets for graduating youths from the National Youth Scheme programs, saying currently only the Zambia National Commercial Bank, ZANACO, has come on board. He says it is only when various stakeholders partner with the government in supporting the scheme that unemployment in the country will be completely fought. And Mr. Nkandu has disclosed that 208 youths recruited under the internship, volunteer, apprenticeship, and graduate IVAG program launched last year and runs with a support from the United Nations have been employed on a permanent basis. In other news trending this evening, Opposition United Prosperous and Peaceful Zambia UPPZ leader Charles Chanda has termed the Zambia Chiawa transaction as illegal and has called for greater scrutiny and transparency in government dealings. Go Back to the Land Zambia, an organization that advocates for rural development in the country, has demanded for the reshuffle of some principal officers and officers handling Constituency Development Fund, CDF, in local authorities to ensure effective service delivery to the citizens. Up next, business news.
5FM Radio Business News. We mean business. Keep you current in commerce, trade, and industry, local and global. It's our business to keep you informed about business.
In business news, the Zambia Public Procurement Authority, ZPPA, has conducted an orientation for suppliers and contractors in Chiengi district on the use of the electronic government procurement EGP platform. The EGP system is a web-based platform designed to facilitate the entire tendering process from start to finish for both buyers and suppliers. It provides a secure and interactive environment for procurement of any complexity or value, promoting best practices. Speaking during the orientation, Chiengi Town Council Human Resource Director Tony Tembo, sitting in for the Council Secretary Hamwende Mpande, praised the Zambia Public Procurement Authority, ZPPA, for taking the initiative to reorient the local suppliers and contractors on the EGP system. Mr. Tembo says the ultimate goal of the orientation is to encourage wider participation in the EGP system, enabling more suppliers to contribute to development projects in Chiengi district and the country at large.
I'm sure the learning process will continue, and going forward we'll have fewer challenges. I wish to thank you, the office from the ZPPA, for taking this step to come and train the suppliers of Chiengi district in the e-government procurement system.
And speaking earlier, ZPPA EGP officer Annie Piri emphasized that the system is automated and impartial without feelings, thereby being able to select eligible contractors based on predetermined criteria. Ends the business news.
5FM Radio Business News. We mean business. Keep you current in commerce, trade, and industry, local and global. It's our business to keep you informed about business.
In foreign news, Tanzanian police have arrested a prominent politician, Tundu Lissu, and two other opposition Chadema officials, the party has said. It says the three were detained on Sunday in the southwestern town of Mbeya on the eve of their planned rally to mark the World Youth Day. The reported arrests come a year after President Samia Hassan lifted a ban on opposition gatherings and promised to restore competitive politics. On Sunday, the police banned the Chadema rally, saying it was intended to cause violence. Here's a roundup from the BBC for other world news stories.
The governor of the Kursk region of southwest Russia has told President Putin that 180,000 residents are being evacuated in the face of Ukraine's week-long military incursion. Alexei Smirnov said 2/3 of these people had already left their homes. State television covered the meeting between Mr. Putin and officials convened to discuss the border situation. The president vowed to strike back. Greece has appealed for international help to fight a severe wildfire that's approaching the northern outskirts of Athens. It's spread across the wooded Mount Pendeli area near the city, burning homes and a school. The leader of a Kenyan cult is on trial for manslaughter over the deaths of more than 400 of his followers. Paul and Thenge Mackenzie appeared in courts in the city of Mombasa with more than 90 other defendants. The US Special Envoy for Sudan has said he is appalled by reports that the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces have been shelling homes, hospitals and nursery schools. Tom Perriello said children were dying in the attacks.
In sports news, Arsenal's Bukayo Saka and Chelsea's Cole Palmer have been nominated for the Professional Footballers Association Men's Young Player of the Year award, with Blues playmaker Lauren James and Manchester City's Kiara Keating contenders for the women's honour. Saka, who won the award in 2022-2023, is on the men's six-player shortlist after the England international scored 16 goals and provided 9 assists from the wing in the Premier League last season. Chelsea's James put herself in the frame for back-to-back PFA Women Young Player Awards by scoring 13 goals in 16 games to help her team win the Women's Super League. Here now is the weather report.
Class Econ Roofing Africa.
Class Econ Roofing, plot 17100 off Katanga Road, 150 meters from Mumbwa Road, Chinika Industrial Area, Lusaka. Class Econ Roofing. Class plus economy.
Class Econ. Class Econ Roofing Africa. Class Econ.
The evening will have clear skies and mild to cool. Ends the weather report.
The governor of the Kursk region of southwest Russia has told.
Apologies for that mix-up.
Class Econ. Class Econ Roofing Africa.
Class Econ Roofing, plot 17100 off Katanga Road, 150 meters from Mumbwa Road, Chinika Industrial Area, Lusaka. Class Econ Roofing. Class plus economy.
Class Econ. Class Econ Roofing Africa. Class Econ.
That item brings us to the end of the news, but before we go, a recap of the top stories. Zambia and DRC to hold the talks after closure of border. Government says that there is need for Zambia's education system to put up policies that will cater for pupils with special needs. Tanzanian police have arrested prominent politician Tundu Lissu and 2 other opposition Chadema officials, the party has said. For more news, follow us on Facebook, 5FM Radio Zambia. On behalf of the entire news crew and the technical department, thank you for listening to the Happy World of 5FM. Stay safe and stay tuned to 5FM Radio. I'm Herbert Mutavi.